It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Can't believe it. I missed everything.
Miss the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
Dating a coworker. Recommend or nah? For Kat, she's only ever dated coworkers. I've never dated a coworker. So which side of this are you on? Would you recommend this to somebody? We fished for answers to that question a little bit earlier this morning during the live show, and you're going to catch up on those in a couple of seconds. Here we go. Did you ever run away?
I didn't ever run away. No, I thought about it. And I do remember like the moment where I packed like a little backpack with stuff I thought I would need to survive.
Yeah.
You know, like Twizzlers pulling peels and, you know.
Oh, you thought about food. When I ran away,
stuff.
I took the Atari controller. I unplugged it because
no one's going to play.
And I took, I remember taking a fresh pair of underwear and socks.
Wow.
And a change of clothes and my backup glasses.
Oh.
Because
what a survival kit.
Well, in the furthest I ran away there was a ravine about a block away from my parents' house where I grew up, and it had a culvert. And we had always joked about homeless people living in the culvert. There were never any homeless people there, but that's what we said as little kids. Because as little kids, you just go explore the ravine, right? There's rocks, and they had repaved the road years before, so it was big chunks of old road that they just threw down there.
Yeah.
But I was going to live in that culvert. I was so mad at my parents that I couldn't stay overnight at my friend Johnny's house that I packed a bag. And I remember my mom just looking at me. She's like, "What do you think you're doing?" I'm like, "I'm running away." And she
I'm
goes,
outta here.
Yep. She's like, "All right, well, I guess we'll just be giving all the food and Christmas presents to your sister then." Like she knew I wasn't going to get far.
Yeah.
But I took everything, backup glasses, put them on a backpack on my back, and I said, "We'll see you later." And I'm out. And she's like, "All right, goodbye. Don't bother coming back if you're leaving."
Yeah.
And I maybe made it 3 hours. I sat in the
That's a long time.
I sat in the culvert, and then I was like, "Man, this is like, what am I going to do?" Like, I was like 7, you know what I mean? Like,
All
what do
right,
you
I'll
do
go
at that point? All right, so I hooked it back, and she's like, "Oh, you're back just in time for dinner." I thought that would work out that way.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Well, I'm glad you didn't stay longer. You never know what could have happened.
I could be living in a culvert
still
in the middle of Belle Plaine, Minnesota right now.
Nobody would have ever found you. But I love when parents shared their way of scaring their kids of either running away or just walking away at like a store.
So you guys know how I always tell you that you need to stay with me in the store and no running away? You know why? You see what those are?
Yeah.
Those mannequins? You see that mannequin right there, Lainey? Yeah. That was a kid that ran away from their mom, and now they're stuck in the store forever.
We were going into Target yesterday, and this girl came running out, maybe like 4 years old, ahead of her mom. So like close to the cars and everything, just to jump on one of those big red balls. And her mom's like, "Squishmallows going back. Squishmallows." She's like, "No." But yeah, I remember Liam packing a little baggie, a little Spider-Man tiny bag for like the airport or whatever. And he put in handcuffs. He put in, he had so many pairs of handcuffs. So he probably looked crazy.
Yeah.
He had like some figurines in there, like a He-Man. And he's like, "I'm out of here." And he didn't know how to write back then. So he just like scribbled on a piece of paper, left it on his bed. And I'm like, I watched him walk around our house, like from window to window. I watched him, and you could just see the gears turning.
He never got out of the yard?
No, he never got out. He wasn't that ambitious. But yeah, if you have a story to tell where you had it with your family, or your kid was so dramatic that they packed it up and left.
I want to see if anyone actually got like somewhere else. Maybe
Far?
grandma lived close,
Yeah.
and you ended up walking to her house. You know, I'm going to run away. And
She calls your mom, he's here.
He's here. And then they go along with the joke.
Yeah.
It could have been days, but like you ran away from, or maybe you really did run away from home. Let's get those stories too. Imagine you decide, I'm going to run away.
I've had it with this big house I live in. and
All
these
this
rules.
food in the refrigerator. I don't need this. Shelter, love from my parents. Just what got you to the point where you thought you were going to run away? For me, it was my mom said I could not go to my friend Johnny's house and stay overnight.
Yeah, you're like, well, I'm
And
going.
so I'm like, well, I'm leaving then. Like, I'm going to run away. And I sat in a culvert.
Yeah. Well, I've told this story before where I was older, so it's not like I ran away when I was like 5, but I was going to the mall with my friends, and my mom was going to bring us, but I was fighting with my sister all morning, And she's like, you need to stop off at the bank and get some money. And I said, sure. And so we're walking in together. She takes my bank ledger, throws it on the lawn. So I have to go get it. I'm like, what's this woman doing? She runs back to the van, takes all my friends shopping with my sister. So I'm down by the river like a bum. Like, is this the rest of my life? Am I just out on the streets
I have
now?
no survival skills.
I know. So I just like walked home, which was like 2.5 miles.
That's a hike.
Yeah, it is.
Becca, you ever run away from home?
I sure did when I was 14.
Oh, so this is like a real runaway. Like you left.
Like, was it reported?
Almost. It was just on the verge of being reported. I made it 8 miles.
Oh, that's a journey. Why were you leaving?
Because I think I was mad at my parents wanting me to have like perfect grades, perfectionist type stuff. I had an A- and I didn't get an A, and because of it, I couldn't go to like a homecoming dance party or whatever with my high school boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And he also took my phone away. So my little snarky butt took off.
Uh-huh.
And then by the time I finally found my parents again, I was like, well, sorry, I didn't have my phone, so I couldn't tell you.
That's a little dramatic.
Where'd you go?
You still had an A. That's crazy.
I thought so too, but.
Where'd you go 8 miles away?
To the boyfriend's house.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be the answer. And then you call mom and dad and you said, listen, I'm just going to be living at my boyfriend's house. I'm 14. I can do what I want.
I didn't even call them.
Yeah.
Oh.
His parents called them.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So do you think the problem all along was not your grades? It was just an excuse to use so you didn't go hang out with your boyfriend? They were like, she got a minus. You know, she's not going anywhere.
Yeah, now that's what I believe so, yeah.
Do you have
At
kids,
the time,
Becca?
I didn't see that. No, I don't.
Okay. When you do, you know this comes full circle, right? No matter what you did to your parents, you're going to get it back twice as bad.
Oh, definitely. I'm terrified to have girls.
I would be too. I have friends that have daughters, and the stories I hear, I'm like, I was like that. I was a monster. So good luck.
And my daughter might have pulled this kind of stuff, but I made it very clear to my wife that I didn't want to hear anything about it.
Oh.
I want to always look at her like a little angel.
Yeah.
I never want to know that she was running away to her 14-year-old boyfriend's house and doing under the cover stuff while
Sick.
because that's what you were doing, weren't you, Becca?
No.
Yes, of course you were. All right. Hey, thanks for checking in. I'm glad you found home. I hope you have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Take care. Just a quick note, guys. Our texting service is down. So if you were texting the show, it's not that we aren't interacting with you, but we can't see it.
It's back.
Oh, is it back
There we
now?
go.
Look at that.
Got
All
it.
I had to do was complain about it, and then it's back. That's my life. What up? It's Kat and JJ. Have you thought ahead to Father's Day?
I did yesterday. I got him gifts.
Okay.
And
What'd you
then
get him besides melatonin
I'm
to
not
make him
telling
go to
you
sleep?
that. He's got us on. He's listening. I'm not going to.
Morning, Greg.
Oh, my dad.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Derek.
No. When we said Father's Day, I was thinking of the father
I
you
know,
have.
but like I'm a woman, so I buy for everybody. Okay, so for my dad, I got him a card, a Powerball ticket, which every story with my father begins with, you know what I'm going to do with the money that I win? And it's such like he has been like this for 20 years. One day he's going to hit it, and he has so many plans. All the grandkids, their college is going to be taken care of. He's going to build Liam a huge indoor basketball court.
What does he want to do for himself if he hits the
Nothing.
lottery?
This
Really?
man is selfless. I talked about it yesterday. Like, what is that one trait, not physical, that you got from your dad? It's just giving. And he wants to do
You
that.
think you got that?
Yes, absolutely. Here. Want a cracker? I'll give you a cracker.
Oh, I thought you were doing material there.
I'm very giving, and I have a big heart. But like, yeah, he is not selfish at all. He wants to buy my mom her like ideal river house. He wants to get her a pontoon. I mean, he has plans. So I got him a Powerball ticket. It's gonna win. It's gonna hit, and gonna take him out for another burger. So
Your son isn't old enough yet, but what's going to happen is they're going to get in their teens or their early 20s like my kids are, and then Father and Mother's Day doesn't really exist.
yeah,
Because what'll happen will be they'll be like, oh, sure, we'll come over for Father's Day. You're going to grill us food. And then that's how that works. 103.1, this is Radio M. And hey, good morning. It's Kat and JJ. What were you up to yesterday?
got to see some family. Hung out with my dad, and so it
What-
was.
Did you post, I haven't seen this man eat a vegetable in years while he was eating a vegetable?
What? Potato, French fries.
It's
Is
a
that what-
potato. It's a vegetable.
I know. My cousin made the point below that, but I'm talking about real vegetables. Like he claimed in that video on my Facebook that some of his favorite foods are vegetables. I've never seen him eat a salad. He does not put anything on his plate that is green.
Is there lettuce on his burger?
No, nope. It's
no
just
tomatoes?
cheese, nothing else.
But he had vegetables.
Okay. All right, fine. If you want to be on his side, that's fine.
And listen, I'm not making up that a potato is a vegetable. That's a fact.
And listen, his doctor's very adamant, like, no salt. Don't keep adding salt to stuff. Like, he would add 5 packets of salt to his fries if he could, but they brought over the food, and he was, like, examining, and he's like, something is missing. My dad has dementia, so it's like, he's very fixated, and then I say, you're not supposed to have salt. Your doctor won't let you. And then, like, a couple minutes go by, and then his brain, like, resets, and he's like,
Can you get him the fake?
Where's the salt?
Can you get him the fake salt?
The sodium-free salt?
Yeah.
You know what? That might be a good brain trickery. That might be a good idea.
I don't know the difference. I've had it so many times. I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, and he likes Mrs. Dash, which is good. Like, we had to get that for him.
Yeah, but they call it something different. Like, if you just got the sodium-free salt.
And put it in a baggie and, like...
Just put it in a salt shaker.
And just bring it everywhere?
Sure. My old man used to bring there was a certain powdered coffee creamer.
Yeah.
And after he retired, he would go up and there was a guy that owned a local garage. You could bring your car in there for fix a tire and everything like that, or an oil change. And he would go up and have coffee with these 3 dudes every single Saturday morning while his friend was working, changing oil and stuff like that. They'd walk around with their thermos, but that guy they never ever had the creamer he liked. So he would bring his own canned coffee creamer. It was in his car all the time.
Okay, he was particular about it.
There's nothing wrong with bringing a salt shaker if your old man likes that. I would do that in a hurry.
But he's very picky on a lot of things as he's gotten older. Like, we had to go get him some ankle socks, and he touched every single sock at Target.
Oh, he's got the Trisha.
He'd go and he'd wiggle his fingers on, and it, like, the texture wasn't right, the fit wasn't right. This part has like a sticky part that'll stick to his ankle. I mean, it was a day. It was a day, but it was nice to just hang out with him. Then I gave him some melatonin.
Knocked him right out.
His eyes started getting like really heavy. I'm like, it's time to go to bed. And he's like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So he went to bed. I hit the road, went to bed, slept hard, and now I'm here.
Furthest you've ever gone for a concert, Kat?
I would say 60 minutes tops. We were going to drive a couple of hours to go see Jim Gaffigan. Now, thankfully, we don't. So we're very excited. He's on our bucket list of comedians.
I have friends who will be driving 14 to 16 hours to go see a show this summer and then driving 14 or 16 hours back.
Really?
I'm just like, it's not that I don't like music. I guess I'm not so attached to any artist. But for them, it's always, they find like an artist that isn't popular. They get hooked on their stuff, and then they want to travel across the country to go see them. And I'm like, you know what? If they're not really big, they could probably play your backyard party for a couple grand in the gas money you're going to spend. So that's the big question this morning. Angie, what's the furthest you've traveled for a show or a concert?
1,747 miles.
Oh, my God. And who was waiting at the end of that rainbow?
Well, you're going to have to Google Aftershock 2025 because it was a 3-day fest of music that, to be honest, I wasn't 100% invested in, but it was for my husband. He is a big heavy metal band fan.
Yeah,
and
these
so
are big names. These are big names. Blink-182, Deftones, Korn, Good Charlotte, so Rob Zombie. That's a big show.
It was his big dream, and I love California, so I said, I'll make a deal with you. We can go to this fest if, number one, I can drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And number two, we can go to San Francisco while we're there. And 3, we absolutely had to see Dragon Force.
What's that?
This was one of the bands. It was one of the bands that was playing. It was really huge on Guitar Hero.
Okay.
And my 26-year-old son was like nuts on the Guitar Hero. And it's like the hardest songs you'll ever play with Dragon Force. So I said, we have to at least go see those guys. And so, I mean, the whole 3-day, I don't remember a whole lot of it because it was so fast. but it was just the best time ever. And I got to tell you, I wasn't invested in the music, so I hear what you're saying. Like, would you really go that far for that much music? And the answer is no.
But you know
I'll
what?
tell you the truth, though.
Go ahead.
The whole
I'm sorry.
trip was amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. I think
go
you
ahead.
found your lobster. It's like, when you find people that just have such love and so much in common. You did this trek for the happiness of your husband. I think that that's really sweet.
Well, I kind of messed up a few years ago. We went to Wisconsin. And it was just so overwhelming for me that I was like, okay, I want to get out of here. I was that person that wanted to get out before everybody got out at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And for me, he left early that night. So this was my long distance way to get him to be able to see.
You're a great spouse because if my wife was like, I want to go see my favorite artist, but you're going to have to drive over 1,000 miles, I'd be like, get bent. I'd pound sand.
Right?
I'm not doing it. We got
But
to
it
find
was a
something else.
vacation. You still got to do stuff that you wanted to do. So, yeah.
That was the whole thing. It was all involved with me. We're going to stop where I want to stop, and
Yeah.
I'm driving.
It's Angie Fest. I love it. Thanks for sharing your story with us. We hope you have a great day.
You bet. Have a great day.
I got time for one more call here real quick. Hi, Vernay. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. That's a tough one to follow up. How far did you travel for a show or a concert?
Well, it wasn't me. It was my son, but he was 19 years old, and his favorite band, called Armed for Battle, or AFB, was disbanding, and they were on their final tour in Europe. And he said, Mom, I want to go to Leipzig, Germany for this concert. And I said, if you can figure out the logistics of it, I'll help you plan it. And he did it.
Yeah.
What does it cost to go to this place in Germany to see a band?
The concert ticket itself was about the same as what we would spend here, but, he paid for an airline ticket. At the time, I think was around $1,100
And did he
round
go
trip.
by himself?
And then, yeah, he flew by himself when he got there. So we had hosted a German exchange student from Leipzig, and he had connected with her, and so they picked him up at the airport, and he went with our exchange students, one of her good friends, was like, yeah, I'd go to that concert with you. They'd kind of connected over the internet and whatever, and they both were like, we'll go. So he worked it out so that he went and stayed with Carla, our exchange student, and then her friend Max picked him up, and they went to the concert together, and he spent about 10 days in Germany, but he went specifically for that concert. That was the only reason he went.
An adventure. I love that. He got to see a part of the world. He was not afraid. He's like, I am going to go on this adventure by myself, which a lot of people would be a little frightened to do. That's very impressive for someone of such a young age. That's cool.
Yeah, he was just bent on going, and I said, well, you got to kind of plan it out, and I'll help you book tickets and make arrangements and whatever, but you got to figure out the logistics of it, and you got to pay for it. And he did it all.
How nervous were you when he was flying to Germany with complete strangers?
Super nervous because he had a layover in Paris, which is a horrible airport to lay over in. And so I was really super nervous about that, but he actually hooked up with a GI, some Army guy who was also on his flight flying to Leipzig, and he kind of guided him like, here's where we need to go next. And then he had some downtime there, a little bit of a layover time, and he found somebody in an internet cafe that had time left on their service or whatever, and they were like, you can just have the rest of my time because I got to go. Because this was before we had like international cell phone service all the time.
Sure.
And so, yeah, he just messaged me up. So I'm like, where are you? You're in Paris? What?
Yeah.
It's such an amazing
He's
story.
like, yeah, it's all going good.
Very cool.
It was amazing for him to take that trip. Yeah, I was super happy he did it.
I can hear there's almost like a little jealousy in your voice, like 19-year-old Vernay would have loved to do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Our final pair of tickets for Chris Brown and Usher at US Bank Stadium coming up on June 30th. We're going to give those away, our last pair, at 8:20 Wednesday morning. So write that down. Be here for the live show. A ton of fun, a whole lot of money, and concert tickets Wednesday morning. But first, we got to wrap up the podcast, right? The idea of dating someone at work was never, ever in my wheelhouse for a couple of reasons. My mom and dad never worked together. I didn't know anyone that had met at work. And then I start working here, and Kat strictly gets with people she's working with.
Yes.
It's, to me, it was just so weird. So
It's
finding
just like
love.
to be able to have that common connection. And if I were to say something, they know what I'm talking about. I've never dated someone that did something other than radio. Oh, except for Matt. Matt worked at the newspaper, but like I never dated anyone else.
What's a newspaper?
He worked at his town newspaper. Oh,
joking. It's because they don't exist
It was
anymore.
a joke.
It was
got
a
it.
joke.
Funny
So
one.
you found love at work. Now, would you ever recommend to your son, who's 13, that when he gets into his career, that he starts dating someone at work?
I would say it's a cautionary tale, son, and you should make sure that, you know, if it does go south, are you going to be able to handle it?
Now, speaking of going south, Laura, you recommend this, dating at work?
I think that's insane.
I got to tell you, I'm married. I really only date my coworkers because it's convenient, but I ended up marrying my husband, who is my coworker of 19 years.
You are the exception.
Okay.
Well, you're the exception because for my life and for my relationships and job, it was absolutely horrible.
Oh.
This guy, he worked in the next cubicle down. He was cute. He was smart.
Yeah.
But I knew and also I was seeing someone at the time, but I don't know why. But there was something about him, and I knew I shouldn't. I know you had a great relationship and all of that, but I knew I shouldn't, but I did it. And we went out on a couple dates, and I realized, no, this isn't going to work. I'm not even going to go into the private of the stuff he did. I can't. But he would do the most insane stuff literally at my work.
Oh, my God.
My lunch in the fridge. He would put dog hair in there, and one time, a toenail.
Wait, so this was after...
I can't.
After you broke it off with him, he would tamper with your food in the fridge at work?
Yes.
And he didn't get fired?
This is a really sore subject because it's even more complicated because he is connected to the HR people.
Wow.
He's very close to them. He's been shuffled around. Oh, now that you bring it up. He has been shuffled around, but I don't think he's ever been fired. I think they just sort of... Oh, that's terrible.
See, now, I'm going to put you on hold for a second because there's a lot of moving parts to this. We didn't even think about what happens if it doesn't go right.
That's
You know
what
I
I'm
mean?
asking. Like, what could go wrong will go wrong if you're dating somebody and then it goes south.
Work has always been like just so, for me, it's so different than my life. Like, come in here, do the show, and then most of my life is different outside of this, right? Like, I feel like I live a pretty normal life for being in front of tens of thousands of people every morning. But if I was dating somebody here and it went bad. Now, you don't even want to go to work. I mean, most people don't want to go to work to begin with. We're pretty lucky that we like coming to work.
And then you have to worry about maybe coworkers choosing sides. So then one of y'all got to go. That's the worst case scenario.
Jennifer Lopez, she basically says, I work so much that I can really only find love at work. And I get that, man. You're into your career and you're putting in all the hours, and that piece of your life that's missing is romance, and boom, you find a little of it at work.
Yeah, she's a big believer of dating at work. Don't turn down love if it's looking you right in the face. Sometimes it looks like love. Sometimes it's disguised as love, but it might not be. It might just be like for the moment, and then you got to deal with the person at work.
What if you wouldn't have taken this job here? What would your life look like?
Who
You wouldn't have met your
knows?
husband, probably wouldn't have your kid.
I don't want to know, man. I'm in love with my guys. So
Vanessa, you found love at work. You recommend?
I do, absolutely. I was Kat. I've only ever dated people that I've worked with. I don't think I've dated anyone that I haven't worked with.
So what do you do for a living?
Now I'm a meeting and event planner.
Okay. So you have a lot of guys in that line of work.
No, not really. I guess like when I was a server and a bartender, and at the time I was working at a hotel, and that sounds really bad, but he was also working at the hotel. But yeah, when I met my husband now, he was working at the hotel and he was dating someone else that we work with. And so I kind of waited for them to break up, and then I slid into his DMs, and now we've been married and we have 2 kids.
You little minx, you.
Is that pretty common in your industry that you find people that, work in that environment that date each other?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know where people are supposed to meet other people. I never trusted dating apps. Like I trust the person that I work with 5 days a week, and I know their work ethic, and I know who they are as a person, instead of going on Tinder and having no idea who I'm going to meet. And if they're catfishing me, I think it's the best place to meet people. I'm not going to meet them at a bar.
The idea
I think
is
it's great.
attractive.
10 out of 10 recommend.
How many times be honest, did you have somebody behind the front desk get you a key card for a room?
Me, none. But him, I think he did that.
Oh my God. For you or for somebody else? To meet up with somebody else?
Oh, no, like for himself when he was dating prior to me, when he was dating the other girl that they worked
really
with.
For himself, just for him only in the, okay, gotcha.
With another girl.
Gotcha. And how long have you guys been married now, Vanessa?
5 years.
All right. And so you definitely recommend dating someone at work. You find a good common ground, huh?
Absolutely.
Love it. I'm glad you checked in. I hope you have a great day today.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah, so many people texting in. I found love at work. And I get where she's coming from, right? If you don't want to do the apps and you're not a bar person. Listen, if I was single, going to the bar alone, I wouldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It doesn't seem like it would be fun to me.
It does not seem fun to me either. But I would venture to think a lot of people are dating their coworkers right now.
When you're in college and you go with a group of 5 guys, right? And at least you got somebody to lean on if you shoot your shot 3 or 4 times and it ain't going to happen that night. But yeah, at work, they're always going to be there. And look at the patience she had. She's like, I waited it out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do women?
And then I pound.
Do women really think that way? They just are like, nah, that's my guy, but I'm going to wait this thing out. That's got to be friggin' tough. After the pandemic, some things are a little bit gross, like
drinking out of one of those fish bowls. The blue drink that might contain alcohol, might not.
Any college bar was serving these. You got a bowl.
Yeah.
And they put 6 straws in there. It's mostly ice and
maybe
hard
some
liquor.
Gummy worms. I don't know, but it was in a photo of my cousin who goes to college in Milwaukee. And I was like, oh my God, they brought it back. And yes, we're not dealing with a pandemic anymore, but the notion of sharing anything with anyone went away for years. It was like, you don't want to get into that. You don't want to touch that burner again.
I just look even at water bottles that are left on my center island. I go, that wasn't mine. I'm probably not drinking out of that.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. You never know what's in somebody's mouth. But I was like, that was so fun.
Fun overrides gross.
It was so fun. And I remember we'd order it and we'd all just get around and whoever could suck up the most and they'd order another one. And yeah, it was fun, but it was gross.
How do I get $2 out of my $1 investment into this fishbowl?
And how many people sucked up and then their backwash went back into it? You don't think about that. When you're her age, you don't think about that.
What's gross but fun? That's the question I have for you. And I'm not talking getting dirty here, but what's gross but fun? Amanda, what's gross but fun?
I would have to say playing chicken in a pool. I mean, it's so fun, right? You're you're with your friends doing this, but you have your crotch on the back of your neck, and it's just, ooh.
Oh my God.
It's icky.
Yeah. And what if you have all the maybe ingrown hairs or burn from shaving and then that's all over their neck too? People don't think like that. They're just
no, they
hop
don't.
on.
You guys think of this differently than guys think of it because we're never the top.
Yeah.
Dudes are never on top. Unless you got 4 guys in the pool. And then I'm like, nah, it's a pressed fruit bowl. I'm not into that.
The girl that always goes on, but y'all got to think about that. All right. You just never know.
But a guy doesn't think that. He's like, oh my God.
There's a girl's crotch.
This hot girl is sitting on my shoulders. That's what we think about. There's never hey, she might have an ingrown hair or anything like that.
Or anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
You never think that you're going to get a rash on the back of your neck because this girl ain't right.
You just had some fun in the pool.
You're just like,
and
this is a good idea.
A lifetime of regret.
Hit us up real quick. It's gross, but you really don't think about that much because it's super fun. So Kat sees on her your cousin's Facebook page, right?
Yes, she goes to college in Milwaukee. They were doing a fishbowl drink, her and her girlfriends. And I was like, oh, gross. My older, through the pandemic self was gross.
But how many times did you have a fishbowl in your 20s?
Too many to count.
Got us talking about what's fun, but a little bit gross. Right away, Kaylee had texted in, hot tubs in general, it's like people's soup. And then we got a text that said, beer pong. How many times does that ball end up on the dirty floor and the germs on everyone's hands? And now you're going to drink that?
So I never, ever looked at pools as a gross thing. And then we went to the Dells, and I remember watching this man with an open sore on his leg walk right into the wave pool that my child is well in. And I was about to get in, and I remember going, oh my God, how many people, one, have not wiped their butt properly today, and now their butt crumbs are floating in here. The open wound. What else? What else do people have that chlorine is not going to catch right away?
Tons of urine.
Sick. And so, yeah, after that point, I have not been a pool girl, unless I know it's like a friend's pool.
I just open my mouth underwater. Like,
yeah, good idea.
You see somebody like come up from underwater and they go, and they blow that little
Derek.
like spigot out.
Yeah,
ooh, that's everybody else's crap in your mouth. What else is? It's gross, but it's more fun. So you're like, I don't care. Brian?
Drinking is fun, but gross at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, it's really fun in the moment, and then the next day you wake up and it is completely gross. You regret all your decisions. You feel horrible.
Yes, I agree. I really have only had one moment in my life. I try to keep myself in check when it comes to drinking, but I had a girlfriend there for a good while that she, like clockwork, would wake up after a night of binge drinking, and she would have all the people that she would need to send a text to say, sorry if I said anything or did anything dumb. I'm like, you really want to live that life? That's crazy.
You've never lived that life?
No.
You've never woke up and had to text somebody, man, I'm really sorry I was making fun of your redheaded cousin.
No.
Never anything like that.
No, I am like a fun drunk. If I could apologize to those people I yelled at,
I've
fun
seen
bus,
you
I would,
in a situation accost people verbally from the side of a bus.
That was a one and done.
Tell me something good.
All right, let's start with an inspo story. A South Carolina family extremely grateful to two deputies that sprang into action to save their baby who had stopped breathing.
All right, ready?
Ooh, dramatic music, too.
Oh, best sound in the world.
Okay, sweetheart.
Oh my God. You don't want to hear crying until you do, you know? And they had done CPR. They just were nonstop helping until they heard that cry. The baby had fallen into a pool.
So good to have these guys around.
It is pool season. It is lake season. Kids are going to be curious. You have to just make sure that you are doing your due diligence, making sure everything is safe. But that is what's good.
Tell me something good.
Well, you, Kat, what's good in your life?
Spent some time yesterday with family that was needed, and it was extremely hard, but it was good. It was like one of those bittersweet moments that I'm going to look back, I know, and be very grateful. Like you said, you know, that I did what I did. Had some nice time with my dad last night, just kind of sat and visited. And
until she loaded him down with melatonin to put him to sleep.
Listen, I didn't load him down. It's not like I gave him 200 milligrams or anything. I gave him the recommended a dose, but like...
Who does that?
He needs to sleep. He's like, yes, he does. His brain is busy. And so he just needed to go to sleep.
You're the worst. If I get to be 70 and my kids fish melatonin into my food,
they will, to get you to stop
to
talking.
get me to no, I am going to be so disappointed in them.
No, he just is so active during the night. I'm like, let's give him this and see if it works, and let him sleep the whole night so he can function the next day. So listen, I know what I'm doing. I played a doctor on TV, and that is what's good.
Tell me something good.
Pretty easy for me. My son's high school baseball team won the state championship yesterday, so shout out to the Cathedral Crusaders.
How magical was that moment?
You know what? It was so cool, but I had these feelings rush back so much during the game because I'd look out in the field and like 95% of these kids I had coached since they were like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And then brought them through high school and in summer ball over and over again. The amount of time that I spent with so many of these kids, I was just so proud that not only did they stick to it, but they have so much fun together. Like, I've been on winning teams where it wasn't, you just weren't tight with all the guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for me, like, these are lifelong relationships he's going to have. And how many lifelong relationships do you get out of high school?
Very special.
And just something they can never take away from him again. And to have people even along the way say things like, but what have you guys ever won?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, we went to the World Series when we were 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then to have just people just not necessarily believing in them, and then them just doing their thing was so real fun and magical. And it's weird because we got done with that game And immediately my daughter and I start talking about how we're going to pack all her stuff up to get her to medical school on Thursday.
Life doesn't stop,
it
baby.
It just keeps going. And then my wife and I got to rush back Thursday after we drop her off to get back for a baseball tournament all weekend long. And I'm like, but I'm happy that I'm burning the candle at both ends because I'm never going to regret it when I'm older. So for me, there's lots of good stuff.
Tell me something good.
I want to talk to, this is Shelly on line 3. Tell me what's good in your life.
The thing that's going good in my life is, I guess, my connection to my family is closer than it has been in a very long while. And sadly, it took a death in the family to have that happen, but it did bind us closer together. And the way I'm feeling about everything going with politically and the world and everything, I thought it was going to be too much to even deal with, and it ended up making me feel better and being together. When you find you have that connection and you can rely on them, sometimes you feel like there's nobody, and then you realize you all are in this together and hang together, and I guess we all got to do that anyway.
That is sad that a death brought you guys together, but now you have the rest of your lives to, not only make up for it, but also make new memories and say, wow, why did we take so much time apart? Let's remember that feeling and never do it again.
And you know what's great, too? That's a good point. And what's great, too, is like my dad would have loved that his passing brought us, closer to, each other, and it serves that kind of a thing on top of everything else. So, it's strange, but I'm strange. So it's
fair enough. Lemonade's out of lemon. I like it.